Hey everyone, it's Akajal and Anusha here, and we're back with another science vlog. Today we're going to be talking about climate change. Now, this may not be known to most of you, but climate change means that the climate is changing. The more you know. Basically what's happening is that in the past few decades, we've been increasing our CO2 emissions, which is causing the Earth to warm. And as the Earth warms, all the climates and the different regions around the globe are changing. So, for example, both of our poles, the North Pole and the South Pole, are becoming increasingly warmer, which is causing our sea levels to rise as the ice caps melt. Also, the climates all around the world are changing. So climates such as the Amazon rainforest is also shifting. And do you guys remember this past year when Chicago was negative 45 degrees? Climate change, the cold, frigid temperatures that used to be traditionally reserved for the North Pole are shifting southward towards us. So northern American countries are being affected, such as Canada and Chicago. We're experiencing more drastic temperatures than we have ever before. And places like New Jersey are becoming much more polar in terms of their weather. So before, traditionally, New Jersey is a temperate region, which means that we experience all four seasons, and now we're seeing that most of our year is spent with just winter and the other half is spent with just summer. Like in spring, we've had these drastically hot days followed by drastically cold days, and it's all climate change. Yeah.
Usually when we talk about climate change, we're focusing on its impact on humanity, how rising sea levels are destroying coastal communities, and how massive forest fires are doing the same for other communities. We often forget that this is a global issue that impacts everyone and every animal on this planet. Deforestation is a massive cause of climate change and has caused countless species of animals to either relocate or become endangered. Climate change is also doing the same thing. As temperatures shift, ecosystem conditions are forced to change, and the animals and insects in those communities are forced to change with them or die trying.
We went to Liberty Science Center to investigate further. Let's go. Hi guys. So now we're at Liberty Science Center and we're here looking at all of the exhibits. And we're going to be doing a lot of close-ups for you guys and everything like that. Right now we're near
the cotton top tamarins.
Yeah, they're right there. Insert clip here. And yeah, so we're just going to keep going through all the animals and telling you guys why biodiversity is so important and why we need to protect wildlife and protect the environment. First up, we got the cotton-top tamarin monkeys.
These cotton-top tamarin monkeys are currently critically endangered. Their populations are dwindling due to deforestation in Colombia. They're omnivores, which places them right at the center of the food web. If these primates go extinct, their predators may follow suit while their prey population rises so high the ecosystem can't sustain them any longer. A fun fact about these monkeys is that they communicate by mimicking bird calls to call our warning signals or joy.
Next, we have the red-footed tortoise. They are also endangered because of poachers and habitat loss. They mostly eat grass and fruits but can eat carrion, which is dead flesh. Though the thought is slightly disturbing, it is crucial for certain animals to eat waste to maintain the nitrogen and phosphorus cycles within the environment. If either of these cycles becomes off balance, it could mean disastrous consequences for the other organisms. Liberty Science Center keeps the saffron finch in the same display as the turtles because they live in such similar climates. Luckily, the finch is not endangered and is actually very common throughout South America and the Caribbean.
The Gila monster is native to southwestern United States and northern Mexico. Their status is also endangered due to habitat loss. Fun fact about the Gila monster is that they have adapted to be able to eat a third of their body weight in case food is scarce. The Gila monster is necessary for their environment because they are carnivores and a crucial part of their food web.
Here we have the timber rattlesnake. What you're looking at right now is the skin it molted off recently. Timber rattlesnakes are found in the eastern half of the United States and their current status is endangered. Though they are not as at risk as other species, their population is decreasing steadily. They are native to the Pine Barrens, which recently had a massive forest fire. Natural forest fires are usually good for the ecosystem, but the massive one that occurred recently was very harmful and caused by humans. We need to be more aware of our actions and the consequences of those actions.
Whoop! Here's the poison dart frog. Some species of this family are endangered right now due to human infrastructure in Central and South America. The more color they have, the more poisonous they are. The poison dart frogs depend on their diet of ants, mites, and termites to derive their venom from, and if those species and their habitat dwindles, they become much more susceptible to prey. They are beautiful creatures, and it'd be a huge loss for everyone if they ever go extinct.
This is the green tree python and the emerald tree boa. They look almost exactly alike. That's because of convergent evolution. Although the emerald tree boa is native to South America and the green tree python is native to Australia, both of them live in very similar environments. Over time, this has led them to adapt in similar ways and therefore look almost identical. The green tree python is currently at risk of becoming endangered, and this is most likely due to deforestation. Their green color and ability to blend into their environment is how they're able to hunt and eat prey. Taking away their habitat is like taking away their food. As a result, these sleepy snakes are at risk. This is Mickey, the green-winged macaw. He's a cutie, but he can also bite, so be careful. His species is native to Central and South America, and just as countless other species in the same area, his population is decreasing. His diet consists of fruit and vegetables, which is what he's trying to get a hold of right now. They're extremely beautiful creatures, and usually very gentle unless they're startled.
Moving on to the lungfish. This one's hard to miss. The lungfish is massive and often found in swamps in the Amazon and Paraguay. They eat algae, which is very important because if algae are allowed to grow and reproduce unchallenged, it can lead to eutrophication, which, to put it simply, suffocates the entire ecosystem. Their conservation status is currently unknown. These lungfish are named so because they actually have lungs and, like us, need to breathe air above the water surface to survive.
Here we have the jungle carpet python, a beauty that lives in tropical forests in Australia. Like most college students, it sleeps for most of the day and searches for food at night. Its population is beginning to decrease as well, most likely due to deforestation and human infrastructure. This particular species of python is not venomous.
Hello, so now we've discussed animals and we've discussed climate change and all the major repercussions from climate change. But there's also a lot of effects that climate change has that we can't even see and that a lot of us don't even realize. So now let's go look at those.
Before we see global, large-scale changes in our climate, we first start to see microscopic shifts in our environment. And even though that has repercussions on our biodiversity, it first starts at the smallest level with the microbes.
We always hear about different animals and different species and different fish, but we never really hear about different microbes. Almost all undiscovered species on the planet are comprised mostly of microbes. Scientists have only touched the tip of the iceberg of the massive amount of microbes that actually exist on Earth. And with the ice caps melting and climate change on the brink, we're discovering new and new microbe species all the time. And these microbes are ancient.
Climate change affects every living thing on the planet, even if we can't see them. Our world is being forced to change at a rate we cannot keep up with, and we need to start taking action.
Climate change is here and it's real. Yes, human communities across the globe will be impacted, but we have top engineers and scientists doing research every day to find solutions. We can protect ourselves with our technology, but what about every other living thing on the planet?
Species across the globe depend on us to protect them from a destructive phenomenon that we helped catalyze. Biodiversity is the heart and soul of nature. The reason these ecosystems and these complex food webs work around the globe is because we have so many different organisms working together to help each other live. And climate change is ruining many keystone organisms, and it's causing them to go extinct. And even if one tiny beetle goes extinct, that chain reaction will affect everybody. So it's our jobs as human beings to both help ourselves survive and also make sure that the biodiversity around the world is also preserved.
You can help by educating yourself on climate change and by simply bringing awareness to why we need to fund research on how to adapt to those changes. You can also donate to any of the charities in the link down below by sending that information to your family and friends.
Thank you for watching.